camper we got to redo at auction. It's got some issues. Something's not too bad around there, not around the vent. Right there in that corner area is done. So it's sad, the canvas absorbed a lot of the water. So I got some work to do. Gotta take the canvas off, I gotta clean it real good. Most of the stains will come out fairly easy. You see my camper's real good, I use it a lot. It's just something I do as a hobby. It's a smaller camper, more desirable, pulled by a lot of little vehicles. Apparently he had this, they donated, had a lot of extra stuff with it. I got a nice little binder and instructions. So we're gonna see what's on that side of this thing. One of my first videos I'm gonna do on Facebook and YouTube. But I've done a bunch of these, probably 20, 25 roof jobs. It saves folks money when you're trying to buy a used camper. Instead of buying a high dollar new one, you can get this one fairly cheap, fix the problems wrong with it. You keep it beside your house like I do this one. We use this a lot. This was a roof job as well. It was bad shape on the inside. It's got some dents right here. AC works good. It's been thousands of miles, this one. Needs to be sealed on the roof. Neighbor's dogs, so that might be too much. This one had a storage bin that I snagged on the fence right there. It was all torn up and rotten everywhere. So I built a metal basket, which just works out great for us. But it's fun. You get up there and you find all these old holes and you seal them up and just keep it moving. If you beat it, bang on it, who cares? It's an old camper. Or you can spend $10,000 to $12,000 to get a new one. After interest, you're looking at 16, 17, maybe 18 with your credit. But we do these, it's fun. So this one I thought was pretty interesting because it doesn't have a second bunk. So it's a little smaller. It's got more tongue weight than on the rear, which helps out in a smaller vehicle when towing. So obviously the plan is, we're gonna go through it. We're gonna have to take off the canvas. Canvas is held on by little channels up top. It comes off fairly easy. The bottom, you just gotta pull a screw and it just slides out. So we're gonna pull all the canvas off first because it stinks. I don't wanna be inside breathing this junk. Looks pretty solid other than that. The roof's gonna come off. Pull it all off. Pull the vent up there on the outside. I don't know if you can see the little vent cover. And take that off. Flip it upside down, pull off the bad. Dry it out real good and find other material to put on top. Home Depot sells a shower board, which I like to use. You glue it on there, let it set up real good. Works flawlessly. And underneath, if it's smooth enough, sometimes you get away with putting carpet. Little carpet tiles or kind of carpet like this, I guess. Just glue it up there. Let it sit and it works fine. I think this works honestly better because it breathes better. Up there, you won't know if you have a roof issue. The water just sits and sits and sits and sits and stagnates and gets stinky, and you wouldn't know until it's too late. But when you see this camper done, it's gonna be all cleaned up. You're ready to camp. And you don't have to pay anybody for it. You pay one time and it's yours forever. You always want to pack the bearings and check the brakes. This one doesn't have brakes.
What?
This is Allie, my daughter.
Are you using it right now?
I'll try. You gonna help me?
Yeah.
Just showing the camper. A lot of the
Hi.
a lot of the signs you see when you have roof problems is when this thing is closed. And you do it when you're buying a camper. You'll see like a water drip here. A lot of that's like the wood, the glue. When it's waterlogged, it starts to drip. Stay tuned. YouTube, so it's about your little videos. But my favorite thing about going through these campers, they'll get donated through charities or what have you. And a lot of times they'll have goodies in there. Some people will leave the stuff they camped with. You find all kinds of stuff. Apparently this here has this is a awning that comes with this camper. And whoever had it cared about this camper. But this turns this awning here into a room, which is pretty neat. Apparently this is the room here. I have pictures of it up, so we'll see. So I got the cushions out. I'm gonna take the upholstery and wash it. This is what's behind it. There's the floor and the benches. So a little bit of water got in there. It's not a big deal, but you gotta get it cleaned up so it's usable. All these campers leak. And this is what happens when water gets there, it warps the wood. But what I'll do with this table is take the top off, get yourself a piece of plywood or some type of decorative wood that you want to use. It's not hard to do. Take these screws off right there, just mount these legs on there, and it'll turn this area back into a bunk. So we got a little bit of water damage right here. Ceiling's pretty good on this side. It's not a big deal. It's pretty solid.
Dad,
Yeah.
are you a YouTube video now?
Yes, I'm still doing it.
Can I do it? Can I hold it so
I got it.
I want to shoot you doing it, please.
In a minute. You can do it later.
Okay.
There's under the seats, not too bad. Ooh, it's a flag. Oh, look at that.
Yeet.
Go put that on our camper in the front.
Okay.
We're gonna keep that.
Oh man, like that.
It's not too bad. It's got a nice little burner set. So let's see what we got.
Look. Look what I did.
Yeah, don't let it touch the ground. Nothing. These folks pretty much got all their stuff out. Some stabilizers, new box. There was a jack, a brand new jack, 2-ton. Some other wood blocks and stuff. What we got in here? A little fan and cobwebs. We're gonna fix it. So what I'm gonna do is take all the upholstery off. Some of this stuff will not come clean. Usually the back sides of these will come apart. It's not a big deal. We'll clean it, see what it does. The big thing is to keep these little plastic clips that hold it on there. And we use that. So I'm gonna start pulling the canvas next. And it's hot as hell in here. But it's fun. See, this was a sign I had at my dad's house. It was knocked over by the train. It was left in the road, so I snatched it up. They weren't gonna put it back up. All right, thank you. Use a flatbed and put the roofs upside down. It gives me a lot of easy access. And sometimes I'll put it in the driveway. But it works pretty good. A little tidbit and what I like about the pop-ups. This neighborhood's got HOA, so you can't have big trailers or what have you. But you can't see my pop-up. You see the one I have up. But you can't see mine through the fence. It's out of the way. It's off the side. There you go. That's what we like about it. So this side is held on by one little screw. You got a little channel where it tucks in and you just pull it out. They're all different. Coleman uses one way, Starcraft uses another. It's all the same process. Unzips there, falls down. Try to save your hardware. If not, you can buy it at Home Depot. It's not a big deal. So this part has got a channel right here. And at the end of these canvases, this one has a rubber, like a rubber grommet sewn in. So what you want to do is get a good screwdriver, which I don't have. Pull the screw out. Pull this screw out. And slide the canvas, slide it right out. Same for this end. Very simple. Got me a better screwdriver. These screws are shot, but take them out. They're both out. And slide your section out. Lay it out. This section's pretty good. It'll clean up well. This window section here, you can see the damage there. Some people will patch it, which I think is ridiculous. It looks awful. So what I do is I got a upholstery guy I take my stuff to, and I'll get that on tape, hopefully. And what he does is they cut that section canvas out, reseam it down here, and stitch the zipper back on. It's fairly inexpensive considering the look you get. I mean, it gets rid of the patchwork, because the patchwork, you know, when I see it, it looks like rodents. This does no signs of any rodents. It happens. These will get rodents in them. Try to do the best you can to store it. You can store it on concrete. Put some mothballs around it. I like storing over top of pine straw. Had to cut a little bit, but pine straw works out for us. You don't get nothing really under there. Plus I have pets, and the dog gets under there, and nothing really gets underneath it. So the store's pretty good. So I'll keep it moving and see what else I can get off here. But by a little while, I should have all the canvas off, pull all the curtains down, and see where we're at. Check this mattress out, get the cover off that. Looks like they had plastic over it, hopefully. I mean, when I see that, it definitely makes me think that they knew this thing had a leak. That looks pretty clean. But I'll take that off and clean it, and it'll come out nice. And it'll be, in the end, it'll be a fairly inexpensive camper for somebody. I'll probably end up selling this one easy $2,500, and you know, 500 in it, and with a little bit of time and labor, and hopefully walk away with 2,000 profit. That's the plan. We'll see how it goes. I didn't have a good video of the top channel, so I had a couple screws there, and around here. Just pull the screws up, and there's a channel right here. It's a little lip, and it just tucks a piece of the canvas in the lip. There's the top end rolls and goes up in there, and just pull it. Slide it out. There you go. That's it. There's a screw hidden up under here that I gotta get to. So what I'll do is I'll pull this. There's a screw right there. And that'll be the second section out, which looks good. I don't see any issues on this end. It's pretty strong up top. The roof is good all the way to there, and all this is bad. All this is shot, so we'll have to pull it out and see what's underneath there and see what we have to do. But I typically use a thicker grade paneling, which you won't see any imperfections. In the shower board, you can see this is just tape seams. The shower board has a hard plastic seam. it'll look factory when it's done. Let's just hope there's no soft damage on the exterior wall. You know, you can fix it too. It's not the end of the world. Let's just hope it's not, because it's a little bit more work. But we'll go see what we got. How dirty that is. It's so nasty. But we'll get it fixed. It'll clean up real good. I use a combination of borax. Borax at first. You get that at Walmart for $4 a box. It's like a dry detergent, and it gets any smell out. And some of the hard spots, you know, we'll use a little bleach. She wants to be my cameraman, but we're not there yet.
How dare you!
We'll get it all cleaned up. See what it looks like off the
I
canvas.
want to be the cameraman. Wes, Dad's not letting me be the cameraman.
Here's another little problem folks run into and they get all stressed out about is the lights travel up the canvas. And the channel that's sewn in the canvas up there hides behind there. Some run into the ceiling. These little clasps, these little connectors, you can get at Walmart, anywhere. So what you're gonna have to do, you can bust these connectors open, which I wouldn't do. All I do is just cut them here, right in the middle. And when I'm putting it back together, run the wires back up and detach them. Very easy. All right, so I got the bunk in, canvas off. And the attachment point here is a little different. It's a channel right there, but it's been crimped. So what we have to do is uncrimp that little corner. Just a little screwdriver, pry it open and slide it right out. See if I can hold the camera and do it. It's aluminum, so it ends pretty easy. So let's see. Right here. Slide it out. No, gotta hold on to it. This little rubber thing stuck. Gotta do this end too. It's got pretty good. There we go. See, it's going now. Camera stopped. Sorry, folks.
I'm the cameraman. Dad, let me be the cameraman.
Nope. Camera girl.
You said I could.
Canvas is off. It's all laid out. Other than the dirtiness and the stains and dirtiness, I don't know if it's even a word. It's got to be patched right there. Oh, people would freak out. Oh my gosh, it's all rotten. And it is rotten. It's torn. It's gone. So what would happen is I'd take it to a upholstery place, and most automobile places can do it. It's very simple. They're going to cut this window. They're going to take it out. Just patch it with a new piece of material. They can do it. They've done it for me a couple times. And the tint of the material may be a little off, but they're pretty good about matching it up. And they'll look fresh as new. And I'll show you when it's done, when it's all cleaned up, what it looks like. Very simple. There's all the pieces laid out, and be clean. And that's it without the canvas. And it's time to pull the curtains. Allie, look.
Hi.
See a little shelf. I've got the image right here.
You know what we could do then?
It's about 1/4 inch thick.
I want to be the cameraman, please.
Don't play with that.
It's got some damage there. Just like 1/4 inch thick.
See, you're breathing unnecessary fumes.
This is just for the bunk end. It's a shelf.
So what is that? What is that?
It's a shelf.
What kind of shelf?
It's the bunk. Oh, it's called a space station.
What's a space
It's not too bad. Very little damage here. All the canvas is down. Curtains are down. So let me see what we got. So we've got some separation here. And there's some soft, wet wood right there. So this side's gonna have to be replaced. That side feels hard. That side feels good. And here we go. Separation. So what I think is gonna have to happen is everything up here, this panel's gonna be done, at least to here. So we'll see how thick it is, if we can, you know, put a new piece of material here. Because there is a structure bar, usually for air conditioning's here. This doesn't have an air conditioner, but that's what these bars are for. Gives you the option to have air conditioning, but this one has a vent, which, you know, the vents are better in my opinion. I'll leave that open. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this roof off, probably Wednesday. Put it upside down on that camper, on that flatbed. And start pulling it apart. It's got like a aluminum or a plastic covering here, which is nice. You know, when you put your replacement wood, if it ain't perfect, it covers it pretty good. It's got an end cap here that goes over the wood. And you got your exterior aluminum, which we'll go ahead and wrap it up there and then fix it here somehow. Some type of corner bracing. But in the end, it'll be nice and tight and strong and usable. And it'll be a nice camper again, and we get a lot of use from somebody. So we'll see. I think it's a nice camper. It'll be nice when it's done. Floors are nice and solid. Wouldn't do nothing to the floors. Some people want to put that stick tile on top of here, and honestly, that stuff never sticks right. The key is to clean this up real good and let it be. Some people like to paint the wood, which is fine, but it just doesn't look normal or natural. It's got a holding tank here, so it's a pretty nice camper. It's got a lot of cool stuff. So we'll make it work. So what I'm gonna do now is close it up. I got a lot of linens to do. I think the curtains are too far gone. So I'm gonna count the curtains that were there and make new ones. And typically all I do is I'll just find a material somewhere. Nothing fancy. Sew the ends up. And there's these little plastic tabs that are actually on the curtain. So I'll just probably put 2 holes in there and just sew a bunch of these onto the new curtains. Just make new curtains. It's not hard. Let's see, that piece has to be replaced. It's mounted to the ceiling. The door is actually on there really good. So the ceiling in the center here is really good. So I don't like taking these mounts out, but it looks like it's screwed. So there's some type of structure here that allows you to screw this door here up. We want to keep the door hanging. Sometimes when I replace the ceilings, I don't bother hanging the door again. I just have it sitting on top because honestly, it's just much easier just to lay it on top of your bunk and close it up and trying to hang it up. We'll get it nice and tight. It'll be fun. Hopefully it won't take too long, which it shouldn't. I can knock the roof out. Should be able to knock this out in a day's work. Day's work of stopping here and there and doing what I need to get done between working on it. Alright, next video is going to be on pulling the roof. And typically what I do when I pull the roof is to let these covers are going to have to come off. There's little plastic covers there, and it's mounted somewhere up under there. So I'll pull these covers, unscrew where it's mounted, and then I'll drop the roof down. And typically when the roof stops I wouldn't let these channels go way down, but I'll put, you know, some type of wood block or something to catch the roof as it's coming down. So I'll put it here. So these things will go down past where this roof is. The roof will stop, and then we'll just lift it off. It can't weigh that much. I'll have my older son help me load it up on the flatbed and rebuild it. And see what kind of material we need. But it'll be fun. It'll be nice. And this camper, which in a lot of opinions would be done. This shouldn't be too far gone to be fixed, but it ain't the case. And when you see it at the end, it'll be real nice and pretty and usable. And like I said, that one was way far gone, worse than this. And we've taken that thousands and thousands of miles. So you see the cooler. I've burned an axle off underneath that camper using it so much. So it's a nice camper. There's a lot of things you can do with these older ones. I put I think it came with maybe a 2,500 pound axle on that one, and when I burned it out, I went to a trailer manufacturing company that builds utility trailers, and they liquidate overstock axles. So what I did is I bought a 3,500 pound axle, which was a little bit longer, so we had to shorten it. But it's up under there, and it's much more stouter than the factory one. So now camper's being used. It's used a lot. It's got a lot more life in it. I got to recaulk these joints. I noticed here that it's starting to crack. It's cheesy caulking anyway. It's stuff that should have been done right. It's not. It isn't done right. So I'll put a different type of caulk on that. It's not leaking yet, but I can tell. But these roofs are only made of a little bit of wood and foam and glue, so they're not too bad. On this one here, on this roof, what we do is when we remove it, obviously I'll pull the bags. It's got an awning for the backside, which is kind of cool. And we'll see what we can do. Start pulling it apart. It ain't too hard. Somebody made it. If they made it, I can make it. So what I'm gonna do is close it up. It's got no sides, so it's definitely more exposed to the elements now. So I'll shut it down. Clean all this, what I can clean. The curtains, we'll just use them templates and make it pretty simple. It ain't hard. They're not worth saving. We'll clean these canvas one at a time. Most, they're pretty clean. Considering, how much water damage, this is not too bad. We'll drop this off this week to get fixed. I think what I'll try to do is clean it first to see how much of this comes out. Because if this side doesn't come clean, I'm just gonna have to replace this side as well. And if you can get away from patching, get away from patching. It looks terrible. It looks like you had mice crawling all through your camper. Stay tuned. What caused that leak? It's right here. This seam came undone. It's separated. And the caulk came separated. So all the water just sat in there, little by little. Check your caulking. Over here, see? That's crazy. But it happens to all of them. But as a roof, at the top, look, it's nice. It's tight. So, in my opinion, it's worth fixing. And I will fix it. It'll be slick. There's the bolts. So there's obviously two bolts, two nuts on the other side of the hair that's holding that lift arm in place. And this is a Starcraft Meteor. I think it's a 99 model.